Most men live their lives chasing approval. They think if they say the right words, buy the right things, or play the perfect role, they'll finally earn respect. They won't. Respect isn't given for effort. It's given for presence. And most men don't have it. A woman can be attracted to you, enjoy your company, even sleep with you, but still not respect you. If you don't understand why, you'll keep giving more while she feels less. Today, you'll learn what kind of man earns genuine respect and what kind of man gets quietly dismissed. Number 1. The man who can walk away. The man who can walk away holds silent power. He doesn't need to raise his voice, argue, or prove his worth. His strength comes from choice. He chooses peace over approval. He chooses self-respect over validation. Most men lose this power early. They attach their mood to a woman's response. One unread message changes their day. One small shift in her tone fills them with anxiety. She feels this dependence instantly. Women are highly attuned to emotional cues. When she senses that your happiness depends on her, she knows she controls you. And no one respects what they control. Psychologically, people value what is rare and stable. When your emotions swing based on her behavior, you lose stability. You become predictable. That predictability kills attraction. But when you can walk away calmly, you create uncertainty. You show that your self-worth isn't tied to her reactions. That composure makes you magnetic. In Stoic teaching, control begins within. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." A woman's actions are outside events. You can't control them, and you shouldn't try. You control your response, your state, your frame. That is discipline in practice. The lesson is simple. Detach your identity from her attention. If she pulls away, stay calm. If she tests you, stay centered. If peace requires distance, take it. Walking away is not punishment. It is self-respect. When you master that, you no longer need respect. You command it. Number 2. The man who puts mission before woman. A man's mission must come before any woman. When you reverse that order, you lose your direction and her respect. Purpose is what defines masculine stability. It gives your life structure and clarity. Without it, you become reactive, bending to emotions and validation instead of vision. Most men fall into this trap early. They meet a woman, and everything else stops. Gym, goals, focus, all pause while they chase attention. At first, it feels like connection. Over time, it becomes dependency. She feels it too. A woman can sense when your purpose dies in her presence. That's when attraction fades. In psychology, this is called loss of dominance hierarchy. The man who abandons mission lowers his internal rank. He becomes a follower. Respect cannot exist in that dynamic. A woman respects a man who leads himself, not one who waits for cues. Stoicism teaches that true control comes from within. Epictetus said, "Seek not that events should happen as you wish, but wish them to happen as they do." This means your focus must remain steady, regardless of who enters your life. The mission continues. Discipline remains. The practical truth is simple. Never adjust your purpose to fit into someone else's world. Let people adjust to yours. When your actions align with vision, you project calm authority. That stability is what draws genuine respect. Keep your priorities clear. Mission first, woman second. That order keeps you grounded, respected, and free. Number 3, the man who stays unmoved. Emotional control defines a man's strength. When you stay calm under pressure, you separate yourself from most men. Most lose control when tested. They argue, defend, or try to explain their worth. That reaction kills respect. Women test emotional stability to see what kind of man they are dealing with. Not consciously, but instinctively. When she raises her voice, withdraws, or creates tension, she is not always seeking conflict. She is seeking certainty. She wants to know if your emotions control you or if you control them. When you react emotionally, you hand her the frame. You show that her behavior can shift your mood. That destroys trust and attraction. But when you remain calm, you send a clear signal. You are grounded. You are not swayed by approval or rejection. That quiet stability is what creates respect. Stoicism teaches this clearly. Seneca wrote, "He who conquers himself is the mightiest warrior." The real victory is not over her or over the situation. It is over your impulses. Every argument avoided, every reaction withheld, builds internal power. In modern dating, emotional discipline is rare. Most men speak from emotion, not reason. The man who stays still under pressure becomes magnetic. He does not seek control over her, only over himself. In practice, pause before reacting. Let silence do the work. Respond with clarity, not emotion. Over time, this becomes instinct. Control your reactions, and you control your reality. Number 4, the man who values scarcity. Scarcity builds respect. It's the law of value. What is rare is valued. What is common is ignored. Most men destroy their value by being everywhere for everyone. They respond instantly, adjust their schedule, and make their time easy to take. The result is predictable. Their attention becomes cheap, their presence loses weight, and women feel no tension or respect. Psychologically, scarcity triggers importance. In behavioral science, the scarcity principle shows that people assign more value to what is limited. When a man is always available, his presence stops stimulating that instinct. She feels no urgency, no challenge, no curiosity. The mind loses interest when there is no effort required. The Stoic man understands this. He guards his time because he knows it is finite. He chooses who gets access, when, and why. That discipline builds quiet authority. Epictetus said, "If you wish to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." In modern terms, that means you must stop explaining your choices. A man who values scarcity doesn't justify his time. He simply directs it where it matters. The takeaway is simple. Make your presence selective. Do not be instantly reachable. Limit your availability. Focus on your mission and let others adjust to your pace. When your time and attention become earned, not given, people treat them with respect. Scarcity creates value. Value earns respect. That is how a Stoic man moves. Number 5, the man who lives by discipline. Discipline separates the respected man from the ordinary one. It is the line between a man who talks about change and a man who lives it. Most men depend on motivation. When they feel inspired, they move. When they don't, they stop. That weakness shows in everything they do, especially in how women perceive them. A woman watches how consistent you are. She notices if your actions match your words. She feels when your focus fades. If you say you're working towards something but abandon it the moment you're tired, she senses instability. And instability destroys respect. Discipline is psychological control. It means your behavior is guided by principle, not emotion. You train when you don't feel like it. You stay composed when tested. You keep promises to yourself even when no one is watching. That quiet repetition builds presence, and presence commands attention without effort. Stoicism teaches that mastery begins within. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." That line defines discipline. You don't explain your standards. You live them daily until they become your identity. When a man follows structure, his life becomes ordered. That order creates confidence. Confidence earns respect. You don't need validation when you are accountable to your own standards. In practice, set daily tasks and complete them without excuses. Show up when emotion tells you not to. Discipline makes you dependable, and dependability is what every woman quietly respects. Number 6, the man who chooses depth over validation. Depth separates men who seek meaning from those who seek attention. A shallow man reacts to everything around him. He craves validation because he doesn't trust his own judgment. Every message, every compliment, every glance becomes a test of his value. The result is dependency disguised as confidence. A deep man operates differently. He is not moved by approval or rejection. He studies his reactions and adjusts them with precision. When a woman pulls away, he doesn't panic. He observes. When she challenges him, he stays calm. His sense of worth is built on internal order, not emotional feedback. Depth comes from awareness. It requires facing your flaws without denial. The man who does this becomes stable. His silence carries weight because it is rooted in understanding. Women recognize that calm is power. It is the opposite of performance. In Stoic philosophy, Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." That mastery is depth. It is the ability to remain consistent when others seek reaction. To build depth, spend time alone. Reflect daily. Ask yourself why you feel what you feel. Train your focus away from external validation. Learn to enjoy restraint. When you no longer chase attention, your presence starts to speak louder than your words. Depth isn't a style. It's discipline in motion. It is the quiet strength that replaces the need to be seen. And that is what separates the respected man from the reactive one. Number 7. The man who lives by Stoic power. The man who lives by Stoic power understands that self-respect is the foundation of all respect. He doesn't wait for validation from others. He gives it to himself through his actions, discipline, and standards. When a man respects himself, people sense it before he speaks. His energy communicates boundaries and calm authority. Women respect men who live from principle, not emotion. They watch how you handle rejection, silence, and tension. If you stay composed, they see strength. If you react, they see weakness. Emotional control signals mastery, and mastery earns respect. A man who loses control loses frame, and once the frame is gone, attraction fades. In psychology, this is called self-regulation, the ability to manage impulses and remain centered under stress. People are drawn to those who display it because it represents security and leadership. A man who governs himself communicates safety without saying a word. Stoicism teaches that no man is free who is not master of himself. That principle defines real power. You cannot control others, but you can control your reactions, choices, and direction. The more you master those, the more authority you project naturally. In daily life, apply this by pausing before reacting. Speak less, observe more. Keep commitments to yourself. Train your mind and body consistently. Live by order, not emotion. Over time, your calm presence will replace the need for validation. Respect will stop being something you chase and become something you attract. That is Stoic power. Mastery replaces manipulation. You don't need tricks to hold attention. You need control over yourself. The man who acts mysterious is still reacting. The man who plays games is still chasing. But the man who understands his emotions, his impulses, and his purpose becomes rare. He no longer needs attention to feel significant. Psychology shows that people value what is calm and consistent. Women sense when a man's energy comes from internal balance, not external approval. The moment you stop trying to be understood or admired, you create presence. That presence is what earns respect. Stoicism teaches that control of the self is control of the outcome. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." When you stop needing validation, you begin to act from strength, not insecurity. That's when attraction grows naturally, without effort. In real life, this means setting limits. Don't reply out of fear of losing someone. Don't explain your value. Don't chase peace by disturbing your own. Focus on your mission, your training, your growth. Respect, attraction, and peace will come when you no longer trade your self-control for temporary approval. Stay disciplined. Stay aware. Stay dangerous. If this message speaks to you, subscribe to Stoic 95. Watch the next video to learn how to stay grounded when women test your strength.